Good morning. You're listening to Shamelessly Shontay, and I'm your host, Shontay Lundy. Hi, Francis.
Hi, Shantae.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm cooling.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, over time, financially, I have been pretty responsible, and it really didn't start until my early 30s.
Hmm.
While I was in college, I didn't have a lot of money. Actually, growing up, I didn't have a lot of money. Humble beginnings for sure.
Yeah.
And definitely having to prioritize what bills were to be paid.
Yep.
Okay. So that wasn't by choice.
Yeah.
That's just
Circumstance.
exactly. So most recently, I got a dream purchase. I am very excited about this purchase, but it took me about 10 years. And that's because I learned how to be financially responsible. So when I graduated college, my credit score was in the dumps. It wasn't a 2 or a 300, but it was a 500. And
Hmm.
I can just say that out loud just now. Before I was very embarrassed about it because it meant that like you just didn't care about paying your bills on time or you were just irresponsible. But for me, it was just like I had to juggle. I didn't have enough money to cover everything that I needed to cover, whether it was my student loans
Hmm.
or just the phone bill on time. And I remember in college, the credit card companies were there offering, $500 line of credit, $750 line of credits,
Yep.
and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna pay this back,
Yep.
and then you're not able to pay it back and the interest rate is like 30%, and before you know it your credit card is maxed out and you just have it and it's driving your score down,
Hmm.
and you got to figure out how to come out of the hole, right? Then you have your debt to ratio, how much debt you have to your assets. It's all of these things that you have to learn.
Yeah.
So fast forward to this past weekend or so, I had a proud moment because my dream purchase was something that I was trying to get for over 10 years. And I tried to buy it actually 2 years ago, but the goalpost moved. The price increased, and I'm talking about a car, you all. Okay. So this was during the pandemic. Supply was low, demand was high.
Hmm.
So everything over sticker was about $100,000 for this car. So I'm walking into the dealership and they're like, it's no longer that price. It's this price because there's just not that many. And I'm like, oof. Now, the cool part was I still qualified. My
Hmm.
credit was top tier.
Yeah.
So when I say top tier, we're going from a 5 and change to almost an 8,
Yeah.
right? That felt good.
Yeah.
I had the down payment. That felt great too.
Hmm.
I had the salary.
Yeah.
That felt great. So all three boxes checked, but I still couldn't get the car because it was more than what I wanted to pay. So, all right. I'm like, but this is what I want now. This is what I want. And I was just driving down the street one day and I said, you know what? I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it. And I went to the dealership and it's no longer 100 over sticker. It's like
Thankfully.
20 over sticker, but these people are like, I'll give it to you for 5, whatever you say. We know you're manipulating numbers.
Yes.
Okay, I'm still rolling in with top tier credit. Salary is there to match. And let me tell you how this man made me feel good. You ready for this? They ask you for your salary.
Hmm.
I write it down. And he says, Miss Lundy, is this monthly or annually? How cool is that though?
Yeah.
This is not to brag. This is just about the persistence, the hard work, and the dedication that I've put into my life to get me to a certain place.
Hmm. Yep.
So anyway, it takes a couple days to get this deal done. And you all, I now have my dream car because I realized that I didn't want a credit score of a 500 then.
Hmm.
And we talk about credit maybe not having a big deal on our lives, but it does,
It does.
right?
Yeah.
Because I had a cosigner for an apartment for a long time, for many of my cars for a long time.
Hmm.
Now I'm just doing what I need to do. But I am a full grown adult. But at
Thank.
the same time, This
Mm-hmm.
is me saying everything must go on auto pay. Auto pay didn't exist 20 years ago. You had to remember to pay your bills.
Yeah. Yes.
You had to
Mm-hmm.
remember to pay your bills. Now you put it on auto pay. It's great. Can't miss a payment
Mm-mm.
if you're trying to be top tier.
Yep.
So anyway, the person that we're going to have talk to us today is coming in to speak on financial responsibility and wealth management. I told you something very personal about myself today
Mm-hmm.
that, like I said, I would never feel comfortable sharing. But this is a journey, and I want people to understand that your circumstances aren't always what they have to be at that time. It's just a moment in time.
Yeah. Well, let me add, congratulations
Thank you.
on meeting your goal to get your dream car.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm being a little coy about it because I feel some type of way
Yeah.
about it. This is a big deal to talk about it in this space, right? Because perception is everything. Like, oh, okay, whatever. She got this and that. And it's like, no, but I worked really hard.
You worked really hard and you should be very proud of that. Very proud of that. And why not shout it from the rooftops? I bust my butt to work on my credit score. I bust my butt to save. And I got what I wanted because of the hard work that I did.
Because it feels like, well, damn, she must have nothing.
I mean,
this
it
is a
could be that.
perception.
It could be that. But so what? Who cares what the perceptions are?
I do.
Why?
Because I have a heart. I have a heart.
Just because you don't care about the perception, that doesn't mean you don't have a heart.
Oh, no. It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, our guest should be right here.
Okay. We'll
We'll
be back.
Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
Who do we have here looking really lovely and vibrant?
Very vibrant. Today, we have a California native and the proud founder and principal of Abacus Financial Business Management. She handles the financial affairs of entertainment professionals, creative corporate executives, and their closely held businesses. This includes the felicitation and management of her clients' accounting and bookkeeping, payroll, tax preparation, and nonprofit agencies. As the middle child of 3 siblings, she learned early on to stand out and be different. Her clients appreciate her ingenuity and aptness for managing financial matters. Please welcome Belva Anakwenze.
Thank you so much for
Welcome,
having me.
Welcome.
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
We're going to dive right into it and talk all things money.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yep. I've been doing it a long time. So
What,
I'm
making
ready.
money or talking money?
All
Ooh.
of the above.
Love it.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, so you help creators and entertainment professionals manage their finances.
Yes.
After working in government and the private sector, what inspired you to take this avenue to financial management?
It was a fluke, like 100%. I had started doing bookkeeping and financial stuff at 16. So my first job was not working in fast food, frying fries. It was literally doing bookkeeping for a trucking company. So I've been in this world for a long time.
Nice.
But I was growing weary of it.
Okay.
I'm a people person, and I know you guys can't see me, but I'm bubbly, I'm vivacious. I'm tooting my own horn a little bit.
It's okay.
And just kind of crunching numbers wasn't sitting well with me. I was talented at it. I was very adept at it. It just wasn't feeding my soul. So I was trying to figure out how to get out, and I just didn't know how to get out and what to do next. And then a friend I went to school with reached out to me. He's a wealth manager. And he said, hey, I have a client for you. You still doing small business accounting? I said, yeah. He said, okay. And then we start talking over the next couple of weeks. I go into his office and I look up and it's this 6'8" guy. At the time I was following sports and I was like, oh, you play for the Lakers. Okay, sure. I can do your bookkeeping and accounting. Had no idea what business management was, had no idea that this role even existed. And that was kind of like my starting ground. And just like this one dude gave me a shot. And I thought I was doing bookkeeping in taxes. And then I started realizing, well, no, we got to look at your life insurance. And is your estate plan done? And you have kids. And are they going to be able to go to college? And all these different things. But after that, I started falling in love with numbers again because I was actually having an impact on individuals.
Mhm.
And for me, that was very moving. And I'm having impact on individuals where they have the resources to really move the needle. And they can create generational wealth and they can do things to ensure they're creating a legacy, not just for themselves, but for everyone else.
Okay. How do you assess a person or a company's financial health?
I always say in my undergraduate degree is in sociology. I have a master's degree in finance, but my undergraduate degree in sociology. So it's very important. I look at society as a whole, right? And so for me, I always look at an individual's value system because what I value is different than what you may value.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, if their financials and their financial life is in line with their value system, then we're winning. But if you're telling me you want to retire at age 45, but we don't have enough money in your retirement, then we're not succeeding, right?
Right.
And so it's important to understand, like, what are your goals? What is your value system? And if where your money is and the things that we're doing is aligning with that, then we're winning. But
So-
if we're not, then we have a problem.
So for someone that doesn't have savings, what do you recommend?
Start.
Okay.
The first thing is always to start. Even if it's $25 a month, a week, whatever it is, put it on automation. Technology makes life so easy now. Literally, you can set a recurring transfer out of your account and put it in a high yield savings account.
Let's just be real here, though, right? Because I
Yes.
actually had a conversation before you walked in the room.
Yep.
And not everybody is able to save,
It's hard.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you're prioritizing your rent, your light, maybe a car note, insurance, the things that you need to live every day,
Mhm.
how are we saving?
The challenge is it goes back to the value system 100% because
Mhm.
the same people who say they have a hard time saving may be spending $40 a month on video game
Mm.
buys. They might be
Eating
going
out.
They might be eating out. They might be at
We have to
Starbucks.
eat.
But you don't have to eat out.
Right.
You could buy food. You
Okay.
can cook food, right? There's
Okay.
other things. So part of it also comes back to it really has to do with your value system. And if you're telling me that your value system is to make sure you have savings and you're building your emergency fund or you want to start investing, then you should not be eating out. Like it's also like, even if you're eating out, are you doing meal delivery, which adds another 10 to 15%, or are you going to
Mhm.
pick it up, right? So we
Mhm.
all are making choices. The problem is oftentimes we are not making the choices based on our values,
Or prioritizing it.
based on our values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if someone doesn't even have a value?
Everyone has a value.
Okay.
Everyone has a value system, whether it's education, whether it's fine dining, whether it's travel, whether it's luxury. For me, it's comfort. I love comfort. You will see me in sweats. My sneaker game is real.
I know that's right.
But I value comfort. But also in that, like I have friends that make tons more money than me, and they refuse to fly business class. They're like, please, I will go buy a purse. I will be at this amazing hotel, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I'm not flying in, coach. That's not going to work for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to your value system. Everyone has a value system.
So for someone that's just starting to save their money, right? Not flying, what advice do you give them to save or create value?
You have to figure out what's important to you and look at your spending. And is your spending aligning with what's important to you? And if it's not, then you have to reevaluate how you are spending your money. And spending your money also includes putting money into your savings account, whether it's your savings, your retirement, investments, or whatever, right? But you have to make sure if you're spending $200 a month on eating out, can you spend $100 a month on eating out? So it all starts with going back to what are the things that you value and is how you are spending your money aligning with that.
Okay. So besides spending our money on things that we don't necessarily need, what are some other common mistakes or areas of opportunity?
I think the pandemic taught us, and I work a lot in entertainment, obviously,
Mhm.
and these strikes that happened last year is that, you have to row your own boat. No one is coming to save you. And so I think it's important that we all have, it used to be 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. And now in this world, it's really 6 to 12 months of emergency savings, especially if
Belva,
you're
you're
in a
talking
gig.
about a year of having money.
I mean, I know, but the reality of it is that unemployment's at an all-time high again.
I thought it's 3.9.
It's at 3.9,
Mhm.
and it's about, all the predictions are that it's about to increase.
Mm.
And so the reality of it is unemployment is not going to sustain the average person, especially like living in LA. LA is one of the highest, cities
Right.
to live in. And so you have to start preparing for the inevitable or the scary moments. You always want to plan for the worst and hope for the best. And so you have to start by, again, $25 a week, $25 a month, or whatever it is. And then the other thing is you have to move that money into an account that's inconvenient. It can't be in your regular checking account.
Inconvenient. Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Define it, please.
So inconvenient means I now need to jump through 3 hoops to go find this money. I know it's there, but now I need to take it out of this online bank account. I need to transfer it to my regular checking account, which takes a day or two.
Yep.
And because that way, if the money is not very easily accessible, I may second think buying that purse or going out to dinner or whatever the equivalent is, right? Because the money is not readily available. It's not sitting in my checking account. So I believe when you have money that's inconvenient, it makes you pause and think, do you really want to spend the money in this way?
Okay. What's your definition of rich versus wealth?
I
Ooh.
think rich is a dollar amount.
Okay.
I think wealth is a lifestyle. And I think what I mean by that is I live a very full and wealthy life. I am loved by many. I am supported. I am undergirded. I'm nurturing. I have a support system. I support others. I give back. I volunteer. I'm able to, yes, have a good life. My bills are paid. I'm not missing any meals. I think for me, that's how I view success. And for me, that's kind of wealthy, right?
Okay.
And I think of rich, I think that's assets. But again, this thing about financial literacy is always this moniker we throw out there like it encompasses one thing. The reality of it is financial literacy it's about taxes, it's about investments, it's about retirement, it's about home ownership, it's about real estate investments, it's about watches and fine art and all these different things. And someone could have a lot of money in the bank, but be super poor because they have all this debt or they owe the IRS. They're not paying their taxes. All right. So there's all these different things. So also don't just assume because someone has a means and someone's making $3 million a year or $100,000 a year that means that they are rich or really doing it. Because the more money, more problems. Biggie said it.
Oof. So I read that right now the average income for Asian families is about 128,000. For Caucasian families is about 100,000. So Asians have passed Caucasians. For Latinos, it's at about 95, and for Black people, it's 56.
That's correct.
Okay. Can you share your thoughts on that?
My God.
Is that
That's correct.
Wow.
I literally
disturbing, right?
I was
Very.
literally
Talk about it.
talking about this about a month ago. I think part of it is that, my generation, I was taught to go to school, get a good job, and you're going to retire at this firm, right? I think that we are just now entering the next generation where entrepreneurship is really embraced and encouraged for people of color, Black people. And part of that is because the society and the system is rigged against people of color. It's not made for us to succeed. And with the ultimate equalizer, meaning the internet, it has made information readily available. And so now we are starting to pull down some of these barriers to information and access. And now that the information and access is becoming more available, we are getting a new breed of entrepreneurs who will hopefully change what you're saying and hopefully skew those percentages a little bit more. Because the way to become rich, wealthy, whatever term you want to use, is not typically by working a job. It is made through investments. An investment could be a business. It could be real estate. It could be the stock market. But there's tons of millionaires next door. There's a book called Millionaire Next Door, and it talks about someone who is working as a school teacher, but because they've made prudent investments, they've become millionaires, not through their earnings, but through their investments.
I'm going to write that down.
The Millionaire Next Door. Don't quote me on the author. I have no idea.
So okay, you spoke on people of color, Black people coming into money, right? Whether it's through sports, entrepreneurship, so what would you say to someone that just signed a rookie contract?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, there's few.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot. Okay. So what advice would you give to a young person that you need to guide him?
That gets a truckload of money backed up into their driveway?
Yep.
I think the first thing that a lot of professional athletes make is misplaced trust. And misplaced trust often comes in a number of things. It is people who say they have your best interest but are actually quite malicious.
This is crazy. This is a crazy term, right?
Yeah.
Because we see people lose money from
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Misplaced trust, right?
We
misplaced
literally
trust.
just saw that in baseball.
Yes, right,
Mhm.
right. So one is it's people who you believe have the best of intentions for you but are malicious. The other piece is that you're asking the right questions from the wrong people. And no shade to grandma and mama, but grandma and mom don't have the fortitude to handle a contract for $25 million or $1 million. They raised you on $50,000 a year, and to ask them for financial advice is actually not prudent. I know that the person you trust most is your mother. The problem is she doesn't have the skill set. She loves you, wants the best for you, but she doesn't have the skill set, right?
Mhm.
So it's about making sure you're asking the right questions from the right people, and then making sure that you're doing your due diligence on the people you are hiring and making sure that they are vetted, et cetera. That's the first thing. The second thing is sit still. Everyone wants to get up and go buy the new house and buy the car
Well,
and do whatever.
My money burns a hole in my pocket.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So sit still, because part of it is, especially when you're playing in the leagues, you could be drafted today and you can go buy your $10 million house or your $1 million house or whatever the number is, right? But then you could go get traded
Mhm.
in 6 months or a year
In a whole different state.
in a whole different state. You're playing in a different state. Your property value has gone down, or now you got to pay a real estate agent commission. So now you've actually lost money on this deal. So
But
sometimes
I
it
hate
just
to
sits
challenge-
still.
I hate to challenge you on this, right?
Yeah.
But we're talking about some people that might not have had this ever, and it's so exciting.
It is. But here's the thing. So
Yeah.
what people don't understand is when you get drafted, say in June,
Mhm.
you actually don't
Or
get
sell your company.
you
Yeah.
don't get your first check until you start preseason. So you
Mhm.
still are living off of your mother for the first 6 months before you even start. That's the first thing. And I'm not saying don't do anything, but I'm saying be prudent. So for instance, if someone got a contract today, I may say, hey, depending on what state they currently live in and depending on what state they're drafted in, because we're also talking about taxes at the federal and the state level,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you have to pay when you play in the NBA, or there's 22 states that have NBA teams, right? You have to pay tax in every state where you play. Where you earn money, you pay taxes. So NBA players
It's like
Oh.
ecom too.
yeah, so
it's like ecom.
yeah. So NBA players are paying taxes in about 20 states. Some states don't pay taxes, et cetera. So you need to account for some of that as well. But all that to say is maybe you figure out where can you live. Can you set up residency in a state that doesn't have state tax?
Nevada,
And
Texas.
Nevada, Texas, Florida.
Florida.
Go ahead and
Mhm.
live in Miami. Go whatever that is,
Delaware,
right?
yep.
Right?
Mhm.
And then set up residency. Maybe you buy a condo there. So I'm not saying don't do anything,
Okay.
but I'm saying don't go invest in the hair salon that your girlfriend wants to do, and don't just sit for a little bit, because what's going to happen is everyone, it's like vultures.
Yeah.
So I heard first one is misplaced trust.
Yes.
The second one is sit still.
Yes.
Do you have a third one?
No, I think that's really it. Like, and because once you figure out who your advisors are and who should be on your team, they
Mhm.
will advise you on some other things,
Who
right?
has your best interest?
Yeah, I
at
mean, because
heart,
you
yeah.
might want to hire your parents, you might want to hire your cousins. There's all these different things that you can do to mitigate tax, et cetera.
Gotcha.
All right. So before we play our game,
Mm-hmm. So I have so many questions about
Yeah.
finances.
Yes.
One question I would like to know: if I were starting a career in financial management,
Mhm.
what advice would you give me?
Find a mentor. Find a mentor, find a mentor, find a mentor. The reality of it is that there's a lot of people that do what I do, a lot of people that sell real estate, a lot of people that do wealth management, there's a lot of people that do different things. One is find a mentor to figure out what you want, because financial careers can be anything from stock analysis to being a stockbroker, to being a wealth advisor, to doing what I do. It could be tax. It could be like, you know what I mean? So it's also a very broad term. So
Yeah.
one is find a mentor. Find a mentor who speaks the same language as you, where you can show up authentically as yourself. And that's the first thing. And then you have to figure out, what do you want to do in the industry? Because like I said, it's a very big industry. But the great news is, like, internet makes it so much easier. When I started, like, I was the only little black girl who was trying to figure out what to do, who was dropping her G's, et cetera. And all these, older Caucasian men were looking at me like, "Oh, you poor little thing."
Give it a college run.
Yeah, yeah.
Give it a college run. So Belva, if you weren't doing what you do today,
Yep.
what would you be up to?
If I wasn't doing what I was doing today and I didn't have small children, I would be a digital nomad for sure. I would go travel the world.
Love it.
I love to travel. I love seeing different cultures. I love seeing different landscapes.
Mhm.
So I would just figure out how to make it work and just go travel the
I
world.
love it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So what's next for Belva then?
I don't know. It's a very interesting time. The entertainment industry is not really back, even though the strikes are over.
Mhm.
The entertainment industry is not back in full swing. We're looking at a couple of professional athletes because right now we are primarily film and TV and some musicians. We're looking at a couple of professional athletes from the business perspective. But I got to raise these kids. I have to, So right now I'm coasting through. But we're looking at acquiring a business. We're doing a couple things.
All right.
Nice.
Big things coming from
Yeah.
Miss Belva.
Nice.
Belva, we're gonna do something fun.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
So we're gonna play a
No, go ahead.
game of this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Your
And-
face, Francis, is like, I should be scared, y'all.
No, you
No,
shouldn't.
the questions
It's
are,
fun.
are good.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
So whatever just comes top of mind, okay?
Okay.
All right, I have the first question.
Mhm.
401k or high interest accounts or CDs.
401k first.
Okay.
But all of them.
Oh.
Especially a 401k if your employer matches. Because if you're not putting money in your 401k and your employer matches, you're losing money.
Listen, I know that.
Yeah.
We need to.
Talk to your
Yeah.
team.
I know that. Go ahead, Francis.
Stocks or bonds?
It depends on the goal. And everything is going to be depending on the goal. Stocks are obviously volatile and risky. Bonds are typically more risk, less risk, and more stable because they're guaranteed returns. Obviously, nothing in life is guaranteed. But I am kind of risk tolerant, so I'm always like stocks. But if someone is more, trepidatious, they should do bonds.
Okay. High risk, high reward, or low risk, steady growth.
Me is high risk, high reward. For sure. I'm betting it all.
Oh. Oof. Traditional IRA or Roth IRA?
Roth. The difference between a traditional and a Roth is that with a Roth, you pay tax on the money you earn now, and then when you pull it out, including the growth, when you retire, there's no tax. A traditional IRA, you pay no tax on that money now, but when you pull it out, you pay tax on the money when you pull it out and the earnings. For me, it's a Roth.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Pay tax
See,
now.
Come on now with the information. Personal finance app or spreadsheet?
Apps. Let's use technology. I mean, the system that works is the one that you use. So apps, but if you want to use a spreadsheet, you want to use a pencil and paper, I don't care. Just use something.
Just use something.
Okay.
Retirement planning or wealth accumulation?
Ooh.
This is a fun question.
Ooh.
I kind of want to weigh in, but
I'm sorry. I know I have dead air. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. I think retirement. Because retirement planning, if done right, can still help you accumulate wealth. But retirement, the problem is not the problem. We are living longer. And so I think retirement planning, and then that could be long-term care and all these different life insurance policies that you can pull from, and it could be pretty fun. But for me, retirement for sure.
I think I know the answer to this, but high heels or sneakers?
Sneakers all day.
Okay.
Would you rather be rich or would you rather be famous?
Oh, rich. I like going to Target. To buy Black Girl sunscreen. So
Hey now.
Yes.
I don't need to be. I want to be rich, not famous. I like living a life.
Yes.
A regular where you just go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Love or lust?
Oh, I'm a Cancer. Love.
Hey, Cancer sis.
Did your birthday pass or is it coming up?
It just passed.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah, love.
belated.
I'm like a true romantic. Although I appreciate lust. though.
Same.
Appreciate lust, but
Same.
love. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Beach vacation or
Beach.
mountain?
Yeah. Beach.
I couldn't even get to the second one.
Beach. My son and my sister snowboard, so I'm often in the mountains. But for me, I'm in the mountains out of necessity. But for me, it's definitely a beach.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Super strength or super intelligence?
Oh, intelligence. Oh my God, intelligence. I had long effects of COVID. And my brain, I had COVID brain. Have you guys heard of that? And like literally, my brain was not firing on all cylinders. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I'd rather lose the use of my legs. Like I love having my brain.
Boxers or briefs?
Do men still wear briefs? Boxers. Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs.
Wait, so say it again. You asked, do men still wear briefs?
Yes. No.
Little tidy whities.
No.
I thought a brief was like the fitted short.
That's a boxer brief.
Those are boxer briefs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the brief is like the triangle?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Speedo. It's the Speedo.
I think men still wear those, yeah?
I think so.
How y'all feeling about the short shorts right now?
I'm here for it. Give me all the thigh, all the knee. Give it all to me.
I don't want it.
I want it all. But it can't be a loose leg. It's got to,
It got to be tight.
It's got to be tight, yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Yes.
$0 in your account?
Uh-oh. Or?
What should we do the or? As $0 in your account. What's worse than having no money?
Oh, God.
Ugh.
What's worse than having no money is not having a support system. It is, honestly, because I assure you, if I had no money, I can make some phone calls and get some money.
Okay.
So if I had no money, I have people to call that would be like, okay, we got you. What do you need?
Okay.
But no money sounds awful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep. Like literally, I'd weigh.
You try to figure it out. Would you drive Uber?
I do it all. Yeah.
Work at the store.
Yeah.
Work at a gas station, selling Black and Miles and lottery tickets.
Yeah. I joke, and if I need to get a
OnlyFans?
yes, OnlyFans.
As soon as you crossed your legs, I knew what you
So
meant.
wait, so there's the question: $0 or OnlyFans?
OnlyFans. It might just be feet or something, but it'd be OnlyFans.
Same.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with OnlyFans. You can make money on
You-
it.
Oh, yeah.
The reality of it is, especially in Los Angeles, if you don't have money, it's because you are not putting the work in to get it. There are people who are getting reservations at Carbone, and then selling them for like $200 or $300 just for the reservation.
Oh,
Wow.
Like there is a hustle for everything.
That's wild.
That is facts.
But it's a hustle for everything. So if you are not tapping into that, and that's not everyone is meant to be rich, not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. And I'm here for all of those things, and I'm okay with that. But if you are struggling to pay your bills, that is a choice, in my opinion. And part of that is because and part of it may just because you don't know there's a world out there, but you're not asking people, how do I do this? And I assure you, as much stuff as I do, I have people reach out to me and I give them answers.
So do you want people reaching out to you, Belva?
If you are looking for a business manager, you absolutely can reach out to me. We don't really do a lot of other stuff outside of that. We do tax for some entertainers, some athletes, but we are really a business management. We're a boutique. We handle, again, actors, writers, producers, some musicians and athletes, but we don't really deal with the general
individuals
population. Yeah, because there's one of me.
Listen, you have been a wealth of information today.
Good.
Yeah, I hope there were just so many takeaways from this conversation. I learned a lot.
Yes.
So thank you for just sharing your time and your knowledge with us.
My absolute pleasure. Anytime.
We need this in our community.
100%.
And more conversations of it, because that 56,000 number is scary.
It is. It is for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So Godspeed, everyone. Go out there and find a hustle.
Belva, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
What's happening at Black Girl Sunscreen?
Everything.
Like what?
Everything.
Okay.
Shamelessly Shontay on YouTube. I need y'all. Go to YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe, send your peoples. Everything in between, because you see all the behind the scenes. You will see the full video of our recorded episodes. And you can crack up with us because we laugh at ourselves too.
Yeah, so the trick to finding the YouTube channel is you go to youtube.com and you put in the search bar Shamelessly Shontay channel. Scroll down and it will probably be that little black image of myself, and you click that and you'll see all the videos, you'll see all of our shorts, just so you are up to date on what's happening. We only give you 28 minutes on air, but if you are watching our YouTube channel, you are getting about 45 minutes of content, 45 minutes of things that just didn't make the cut, but are just as important. Listening to Shamelessly Shontay.
Bye.
You don't gotta dodge them sunbeams. Just put on your black girl sunscreen. Ay, black don't crack a dozen. Black people get sunburned too.